the afternoon session started with 5-minute images, and I was happy that one of my co-commentators was back, because sitting alone here for almost 2 days just talking to the crowd who is no one else is quite hard. So thank you, Florian, for joining me and helping me telling the right stories at the right time.
Actually, question to you, Hannes. Did you already explain how the images discipline works here?
No, I didn't.
Because there's a slight difference. All right.
Thank you.
Then please
Florian.
Please do.
Yeah, so thank you, Florian, for pointing that out. So you see here, they have 5 images in each row. They have to memorize the order of these 5 images just for every row independent. In the recall, they have the same images in the same row, but they are shuffled. So they are not in the same order like here. And they have to indicate with typing a number, which one was image number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. And for each correct row, if everything is right in a row, you get plus 5 points. But if you get a row wrong, so let's say you mix up number 2 and 3, then you get -1 for that row. So let's say you memorize 2 rows, one is correct and one is wrong, you would get 4 points. 5 for the correct row and 1 minus for the wrong row. But wrong is only wrong if you have a mistake. If you have not memorized the row or just leave it blank, then it doesn't count, then it's just 0.
Yeah, what I think is also quite interesting about discipline, because about this one in particular, is because, so the images, of course, they come, let's say, sequentially, and you have to memorize them in order in a certain row. But from my understanding, so there's quite a few competitors that, for example, would not use a memory palace to memorize this information. So you could really just go look at one row, make a story out of 4 or 5 images, and then you don't even need to place it somewhere. Because essentially when you get back there during the recall, you see exactly the same images, and you just have to remember the story.
And now let's check here the screen here.
Bastian, for someone to help us.
And this is how the recall works. Wow, Andrea is fast. You have to put in the numbers.
Wow.
Is he doing it by... He's moving with the cursor, isn't he? I'm always clicking. Or is he clicking into the field? It looks like he's using the cursor, right? Because he's going to left and right.
Maybe he's just using... No, I think the tab functionality. Or is it just left and right with the buttons?
I think you have to can go left and right, because it looks like that. This is good, because it always takes so long. Tab and shift. Tab and shift tab. Use arrow keys as well. Yeah. Wow. Let's check Guillaume as well.
But I'm really impressed by the speed of Andreas' recall.
Yeah, I mean, no offense, Guillaume, but look at this. It's like an old man. He knows how I mean it. So Guillaume, if you listen to that, I give you a coffee next time. So, so Guillaume, if you're listening to that, I hope you enjoy this video. Yeah, let's fast forward the images recall here. Andrea is very fast in recalling it, and usually you have 20 minutes to recall as many images as you can, and you get 5 for a perfect row and -1 for a wrong row, as I explained. And what is very cool about this discipline, I think this is the most beginner-friendly discipline. So if you haven't done any memory sports at all, or learned about memory techniques at all, this is a good way to start. The link to the website, the IAM website, will be in the description under the video. And if you try the images discipline, just create a nice little story out of the 5 images in one row. Just make sure that you don't mix things up. So start with the first image, then connect the second to the first, the third to the second, the fourth to the third, and so on. Sounds easy, but yeah, give it a try and try to visualize everything as good as possible. The more memorable an image is, the better it is. So if you want, try it out and see how many rows you can get. And who knows, we might meet someday in a memory competition. And even though the images discipline is there for quite a while, it's still the newest discipline. And the digitalization in memory sports is a rather new thing, as I mentioned, and you will see that while we are watching the results here. The France competition had a nice setup where athletes could send their scores to the main sheet, and then everything would appear in a long list, which was quite exciting to watch because we have never seen something like that. In the past, when everything was still on paper, we even had to wait sometimes a day to get the results. But these times are over, and this is how it looks today. Yeah, sorry, just checking scores here.
Yeah.
So 400, 404 here for Andrea, nice. 335 for Guillaume and 201 for Lars. So some mistakes for everyone. And let's put the... Yeah, now he's doing it. They are copy pasting a link here. So you see they have to click here on the discipline, then on their own name, of course, and then 404, yes. And then they click send, and then it goes on this page here. And then it's updating live. I think it's also a competition who enters the score for fastest here. I think Andrea was second. Is anyone here? And we have another national record here. No surprise, but still great. Celine, 379.
Nice. So for Celine, she actually improved her own national record by only 12.
By 12.